guys, what's up? My name's Emily and this is my new channel, Millions of Millie Books, and I'm here to give you my Christmas book haul. So the first book I got from bookoutlet.com on Black Friday, but my parents made me wait until Christmas. Santa problems. And I got Imposter by Jill Hathaway. This is the second book in the Slide duology. I read Slide a couple months ago and I thought it was okay, but I'm just interested to see how the duology concludes. Well, the Slide series is about a girl who people think she's epileptic, but whenever she passes out and has a seizure, she slides into other people's minds, and one time she slides into somebody's mind who is standing over a dead body, so it is up to her to find out whose mind she slid into so she can solve murder, and then this is the continuation of that duology. The next book I got is This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales, and I've heard very good things about this author, and then a lot of people like that, but I just read the synopsis on Goodreads and thought it sounded really good, and it was a couple dollars on Book Outlet, so YOLO. This book is about a girl who I think is trying to find herself or change herself, and she finds herself in a DJing club or something like that, and it's, I think, about maybe self-acceptance and all the good things that YA is about. And I'm ready to rave. The next book I got is Half-Blood and Pure by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have not read many of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. I've read the entire Lux series and I absolutely loved it. Her writing is just so addicting and so beautiful and I love it so much, so I thought I would pick up another one of her series, and I've heard a lot of good things about the series and being fun and being amazing, and I'm super excited to read these. I'm not sure exactly what this is about, but I know because it's Jennifer L. Armentrout it'll be a lot of fun, and there's 5 books, so ARC series are my fave. The next book is The Book of Ivy, which is a new dystopian series, and I believe it's about these, after a war, these two sides are separated and the losing side has to marry their women off to the men of the losing side. So it just sounds super good and I've heard really good things about it, and the cover, I can't tell if it's the most beautiful thing in the world or it's the most ugly thing in the world. The back is pretty and the side is gorgeous because it has a knife on it. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this, so I'm super excited. The next one is Girl of Nightmares, which is the second book in the Anna Dressed in Blood duology. Is it duology? I think it's going to be a duology. I don't think there's another book. And I read Anna Dressed in Blood in October around Halloween time, and I really, really, really loved it. And I think that I'm just super excited to continue on with the series. And yeah, Anna Dressed in Blood was about a guy who is a ghost hunter, and he moves to this town so he can hunt this ghost who has never let anybody survive, but then the first time Cass, our main character, goes in and tries to get Anna, he survives, so it's kind of him finding out why she let him live. It's a lot of fun. Read it in October if you can, because it was a lot of fun. The next book is called The Day Before by Lisa Schroeder. I'm super excited to read this because it's written in verse, and I've never read anything in verse before, but I've been very interested to read something in verse. And I've heard really good things about this one. It's about a girl who, she goes to the beach and meets a guy, and I think just the guy kind of shows her that her life is worth keeping. So it just sounds very beautiful and heartwarming, and I'm super excited. The next 2 books are Ellen Hopkins books, and I'm super excited to read these. I skimmed the synopsis, but I'm not too sure what they're about. But they are written in verse as well, and I found these 2 signed copies at my favorite bookstore, so why not? And I'm super excited. They're super thick, but they'll probably go by quick because they're in verse, and I've just heard her books are really, really good and really heart-wrenching, so whenever I'm in the mood to feel the feels, I have choices. The next book, I am so excited about this book. It's called The Strange and Beautiful Stars of Ava de Lavender by Leslie Walton, and this book, I believe, is about a girl who is born with wings, and I think it kind of goes back and talks about not all of her family, but like her mom and her grandma have traits that are abstract about them as well, and it just sounds super cool. I've heard it's beautiful writing, and I'm just super excited to read this. Like, everybody who's read this has said this is one of their favorite books, and I've never read any magical realism books, so I'm super excited to have beautiful writing, and plus cover porn. I mean, really, cover porn. Yes, cover porn. Also, when I went to the Kier cast study, she talked about how much she loved this book, so I'm a big fan of beautiful writing. The Young Elites by Marie Lu, and I'm not too sure what this one is about either, but I believe it's more fantasy, and it's about kids who have either developed powers from a disease or kind of sounds something along the lines of The Darkest Minds. I could be completely wrong, but like something that's kind of a mix between fantasy and dystopian, which I always really, really love. I've read all of Marie Lu's legend books. I have them back there, and I love them all, and I really loved the ending of them, so I'm super excited to pick up her next series, and I've heard a lot of good things about this too, so I'm excited. The next book I have is The Archive by Victoria Schwab. I've heard amazing things about Victoria Schwab, and I have not read any of her books. I believe this is going to be a trilogy, and I'm super excited for this. I don't know much about this synopsis either, but it's, I think, about a girl who works with archived memories or something like that, and it just sounds like a really, really unique concept, and I didn't want to know too much from the synopsis, but I've just heard good things, so I'm excited to dive in. This book is the first in the Lyborn Legacy trilogy. It's called Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan. I'm super excited to read this for two reasons. Just the synopsis sounds super cool, it has a beautiful cover, and Sarah Rees Brennan is one of the authors who, I believe she co-wrote the Bane Chronicles, and she also, I think she's gonna have, she's gonna write some stories in the Shadowhunter Academy, which I'm super excited about, because all the Simon Lewis. But for this one, I believe it's about a girl who her whole life, even though she's probably 16 or 17, she's had this imaginary friend, but then one day she actually meets the person who's been her imaginary friend this whole time, and apparently she's been his imaginary friend too. So that was probably a terrible synopsis, but it sounds super good, and plus cover porn again. Plus I've heard a lot of sass is involved with this series, which is always a yes. The next books are the second and third books in a trilogy, and it's A Darkness, Strange and Lovely and Strange and Ever After by Susan Dennard. I met her in September when I went to the Sarah J. Maas signing, and she was just super awesome, and I read Something Strange and Deadly in October on Halloween, and it was super good, super fun. It was about a girl, it was kind of historical fiction, 1800s, but then kind of zombies were involved. It was just a mix of a lot of genres, and it was super fun, and I'm super excited to continue on with this trilogy because Susan Dennard was super awesome. The next series is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I have not read any of these books, but I found Siege and Storm on Book Outlet during the Black Friday sale for super cheap, so I decided that I wanted to get the other two books in hardcover. The main reason that I want to read this is when I went to the Sarah J. Maas signing, Sarah J. Maas, Susan Dennard, and Eric O'Rourke said that I reminded them of Leigh Bardugo. So, if there's another me in the world, I have to read her books. So, I believe this is a young adult fantasy series that some people say it's set in Russia, and there's heard really good things, and the series has beautiful covers. So it's Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Rune and Rising. And I'll probably marathon those sometime soon. But the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, I've got this beautiful box set. Santa is Too Good to Be. It's so beautiful, and it's by Laini Taylor, and I've heard so many good things about the series. Some people aren't really fans, but I'm excited to try it and see if I can get into it. I didn't really know too much of a synopsis about this one either, but I just know that it's fantasy, and I know it takes place in a different country. Like, I don't remember what country it was, but it was a country that I've never read a book from, and it just sounds like it's a good time, and I'm excited to read more young adult fantasy. And the books,
holy crap,
the books are Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. And I'm also asked for these because my friend Jenna at Jenna Claire K told me about them. She said that I should read them, and I'm super excited to marathon these as well. Next book is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. I heard anything about this book. It sounds super interesting, and I know a lot of people got an ARC at BEA, but I believe it's about a girl whose novel is going to be published, and it's told in alternating chapters between her story and then the story that she actually wrote that is her book. So I love mixes of genres, so this kind of sounds half contemporary, half dystopian or fantasy. So I'm super excited to read this. It's a big boy, but I think it'll be beautiful. I haven't read anything by Scott Westerfeld. I know. And this book is signed too, so yay! I am super excited about this because pretty much everybody who's read it said it's either one of their favorite books or their favorite book of the year. And it is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I read Jandy Nelson's other book, The Sky is Everywhere, and I really loved it. I think her writing style is absolutely beautiful, but I've heard even better things about this one. So I'm super excited to get into this. I believe it's about a set of twins, and the story is told from a dual timeline. So I think one of them narrates them when they're younger and one of them narrates when they're older. And I believe there's something happened between them, and it kind of, the story either kind of works backwards or just you slowly start to see why from seeing the dual point of view. And I love dual point of view, and I love beautiful writing, so I'm just super excited about this. Plus the cover view is amazing. The final book is The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare and Sarah Reese Brennan and Maureen Johnson, but let's be real, Cassandra Clare is the one that matters. I'm super excited to read this. I know these have been, there are novellas about the character Magnus Brain from the Mortal Instruments and Infernal Device series, and I'm just super excited to read these. I know they've been out for a while in ebook format, but I've just been waiting to read them when I can read them in beautiful hardcover, and I'm so excited because I get to add them to my beautiful Cassandra Clare shelf. So that was my Christmas 2014 book haul. Thank you for watching, and I apologize for awkwardness, and I hope that you like my channel. Thank you for watching. Yeah. And I'm not too awkward right now, and I'm going to edit most of this out. Whee! So thank you. I should have said what books are about.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Oops! Oops! I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I read Jandy Nelson's other book. What is it called? A Duel. And the net. And I read, and it is, and some people say that it's a fake city that's kind of like Russia, and they get defensive that it's not Russia. So I have no clue, but I just, what is it called? Erica O'Rourke. Oh, and I don't even know if that was a chat. Oh well. So, the next series, super happy, but is the
YOLO.
YOLO. Let's all say hi to Michaela.
Hey.
I'm gonna regret making this go out of focus now. Is it good?
You're good.
I'm good.
You're good.
I've heard a lot of, I haven't heard anything, but I haven't heard.
Yeah, like maybe like the.
I'm like, this video is going by so fast. Okay.
And then
should we test out my editing skills and like give synopsis of these and like cut to them?
Yeah, you could probably.
I'm gonna test out my editing skills. Sorry, feature me. I'm ready to rave.
Literally rave.
Literally rave. And then, I haven't gone too into detail about this synopsis, but it sounds like there's deep. I should probably read the back. I already did, but I kind of wanted to go into it blind, but
I got a blank space,
baby. I think it's about a girl who. Bloopers! I'm gonna. Should I stop recording?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about a lot of the things. Oh,
That's my TBR.
are you really?
Yeah.
Okay. And it'll be poetry feels, so yay.
Yay.
So poetry feels.
That binding though.
That binding though. The next book I'm ready. I have is the next book. The next book is this will probably be super actiony. Shadow and Bone, not Shadow and Bone again. The daughter of lots of boners in this fantasy world. Paul.